Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. Come on in. Come on in. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let me see. Okay, I'm seeing some people here. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? How was the day? Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you can hear me. Hi, welcome to Dr. Mercy. Q&A with Dr. Mercy. I'm Dr. Mercy. Hello, happy Friday. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Before we begin, I always like to ask, where are you viewing this live from? So, what city, what state, what country are you viewing us from? Always love to see where everybody's from. Hello, Sky. How are you doing? How are you? Welcome. So, where are you guys viewing this broadcast from? Hello, hello. Okay, New Jersey. Rosa, awesome. Brooklyn Fly, where you, oh, you're from Detroit. Okay, okay. Marjorie, San Antonio, Texas. Oh, not too far from me. Okay, Sky, you're from Boston. Awesome. You're from Boston. Karen, you are from New Jersey. Awesome. All right, Terrence, you're in Georgia. Oh, Dr. Renee Murphy in Phoenix, Arizona. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, we have a Canadian here. Hi, welcome. And Stephanie Carter from Monroe, Louisiana, very close by. Rosa Williams, New Jersey. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Um, Thank you for just joining. So, today's episode is centered around New Year, New You. Okay. Um, I haven't been on live since last year, which was 2023. So, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. And with New Year's comes, our usual New Year's resolution. I think it's really important to always have something that we want to improve on. And what better way to do it is during the new year? So I wanted to just take the time out just to talk about what 10 things we can do to improve on. Some may call it resolution, I call it change. And things that we can help improve our health by, okay? Before I do, just wanted to let everyone know we've officially kicked off the 2023 Water Challenge. And so it was kicked off today. I have started my water challenge. Others have started as well. They've joined me to start this water challenge. And I also want to tell y'all that it's not too late. If you want to join the water challenge, just email me at waterchallenge2023@gmail.com. Again, it's waterchallenge2023@gmail.com. Essentially, what you're doing is you are setting your water goals for 30 days. You pick how much you want to drink and then you stick by it. And then every day at the end of the day, you just fill out a survey. Prior to you filling out that survey, you get to kind of start throughout the day, start just feeling how your body is, seeing, okay, how's my mood? Am I going to the bathroom adequately? Some of the aches and pains that I have they gone away just by me drinking water? And you'll start to feel the effects of proper hydration. So again, and not only that, some people have even said that they've lost weight because of just drinking enough water on a daily basis. So it's really important that we drink water. And if you want to start this water challenge just to kind of get into the habit of always constantly drinking water, feel free, email me, and I will get you plugged in. Okay. So let's start with our topic. And also, while I'm on the topic, let me say that, this is also a new year. So we're going to be talking about new topics, popular topics. But if there's any particular medical topic or condition or question that you have, feel free to jot them down in the comment section. We can discuss it. I'm a physician, trained physician. And so this is your 30 minutes to just have just free reign to ask any medical question that you have always wanted to ask your doctor, but maybe you've been afraid, maybe you haven't had time during clinic. Just feel free to just jot it down, and I will do my best to answer these questions, because our goal, especially in 2023, my goal for this channel is to continue talking about medical conditions, obviously, but also how can we be our better healthy self. Okay. And so, if the way you can be your better healthy self is by knowledge. Knowledge is power, knowledge is key. So, no question is a bad question. Just jot them down and we will discuss. If I don't discuss it with you, I would reply under the comments section. When I say I don't discuss it, if I don't discuss it as a topic, I will reply under the comments section. Okay, so let's join in. Let's just continue with our next topic. So it's going to be 2023, new year, find a new you. Okay. So what I decided to do is just talk about what are 10 things that, we may already know that we should be doing, but just an emphasis of things that you can start to like focus on changing during this new year. And remember, I always say this all the time, that Rome was not built in a day. Okay. Before it becomes a habit, they say it takes about 2 weeks for you to actually do this thing on a daily basis. And I will even add upon that, even if you try to do it on a daily basis and maybe one day you fail the mark, it's okay. There's always tomorrow. The whole idea is a little step at a time eventually goes a long way. So keep at it, keep at trying to do, whatever you can to make your body a more healthier version of yourself. So with that, let's go to our number um, one challenge or resolution that we should strive to do during this year. Number one is find ways to reduce stress. I was reading an article actually maybe an hour ago, and they talked about that there's been a surge of people dialing the mental health hotline, the 988. And I remember we talked about that in December. Why? Because there's been a lot of stress. I mean, we can all understand that COVID has been upon us and it's been very stressful for a lot of us, especially. And then, just the overall atmosphere has just felt more tense. So, in order for you not to absorb some of that external stress that you see either through the whole COVID or through society or through family and friends, you have to have an avenue to kind of release all that tension. I see patients a lot of times come into the hospital having symptoms such as chest pain. And as I talk to them more and more and more, I realize that the chest pain is really as a result of stress. And why do I know that? They tell me all about the chest pain, and then towards the end of the interview, they're like, "Doc, I've been really stressed lately. My daughter, my son, my work, you know." And then I realized, okay, this chest pain is really stress pain. And I tell them, I said, your body is telling you that it cannot handle that stress anymore. And it's getting to a point that now it's, instead of it being an emotional turmoil, it's become a physical one. And as we all know, over time, when you are stressed like that, it can eventually affect organs in your body, particularly your heart, you know. So it's really good idea to always be able to decompress. So what are some ways to decompress? First of all, meditation is key. Prayer is key. Prayer and meditation is key. Setting some time out, you know, every day, it can be as little as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to do meditation, just to be one with yourself and just be quiet and just listen to the noise, the soft noise around you. Okay. If you are a Christian or religious and you believe in prayer, this time you can pray to your God and just thank Him for everything that you have. Be thankful. A lot of times we forget that, you know, being thankful helps to center us and helps to give us a positive light of what we are doing in this world. So prayer and meditation, doing it on a routine basis does help. Other things that can help, exercise. You know, some people do yoga, um, just walking outside, just feeling the breeze and hearing the trees and seeing the scenic environment can help reduce stress. So these are just some ways, but just focus on what can I do to reduce my stress. So that's um, tip number. Well, that's a resolution number one. Resolution number two, as we were talking about going outside, go outside. You know, a lot of us are just, maybe it's because we're on our phones a lot, we're watching TV, you know, we tend to be inside bodies. Already, a lot of our work requires us to be inside. So when we're off, we're still inside the house. No, you know, remember back in the day when you were young, what did your parents always say? Go outside and play. There's a reason for that. Going outside can help you not only to reduce your stress, as we talked about, but this is where you can absorb vitamin D. And vitamin D is very crucial to a lot of functions in your body. I know we did a segment on vitamin D. And if you haven't seen that segment, look at the previous videos, you'll see it. But vitamin D plays a vital role in your body. So just going outside, allowing your body to absorb vitamin D is key. But also it can help with stress reduction, and also it can help with you exercising. So go outside and move around. That's key. Number three, again, still in the line of being active, move more, sit less. So studies are showing, and as you guys know, we're starting to hear that sitting, prolonged sitting, can actually adversely affect our health. What do you mean by that? Well, if you sit more than 2 hours a day, you run the risk of having heart disease. You run the risk of having a decrease in the number of years of your life as a result of that. You run the risk of obesity. So they actually, some people equate a sitting, prolonged sitting, to smoking. But then some people say, oh, no, that's just too, no, you can't put those two in the same bracket. But the overall emphasis is, if you are moving around and sitting less, you are actually improving your health and prolonging your life. So be more conscientious with your sitting. You know, not everything requires you to sit. You can stand, you can walk as you're watching TV, as you're on that Zoom call. You know, they have these nowadays, they have these treadmills that you can be, you know, walking on as you're, you know, on the computer. So just be more creative on what ways can I stay active throughout the day. That doesn't necessarily mean sitting in a chair. We already talked about this. Start exercising. Now, they recommend to gain weight loss, you should at least exercise, moderately intense exercise, about 150 minutes per week. 150 minutes per week. So if you divide that by 5, right, that's about 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. So with the weekends off. So, I mean, it's important for you to just start exercising. Even though they recommend 150 minutes per week, honestly, they also say that any amount of exercise helps to improve your health. So if it is, okay, I can only do 5 minutes a day, fine. That still is helping to improve your cardiovascular system, which is your heart, helping to improve your muscular system. Because as the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. So being active, any form of activity, you don't have to reach the 150 mark, although it's recommended that you do, or even go beyond that, but you just have to start getting active. So again, we're all in that same line of being active, but limit screen time. Okay. You know, we're living in the technology age where, you know, we're either on a phone or on our computer or on our TV or on our iPad. I mean, the list is endless. And now that has centered us to be stuck with this form of computer in our face all the time. Well, studies have shown, particularly when it comes to children, but this also applies to adults, that increased screen time can adversely affect them by causing increased anxiety, increased depression, and obesity. Well, we already talked about why it causes obesity. I mean, you're sedentary, you're not really moving around. A lot of times, people are, whenever they're on these screens, are sitting down, and we already spoke about that. But anxiety and depression have also been tied to prolonged use of screen time. So there's many reasons why. I mean, we're in a society where the selfie movement, where everybody's taking selfies and they're living their best life now. So, keeping up with the Joneses, that sort of thing, that can cause you to feel inadequate and lead you to anxiety and depression. But, back in the day, humans were able to live life without screens, without TV, well, they had some form of TV, but without having to constantly be on their phone, having to constantly be on the TV. Let's create that community. Let's go back to the time when a community was the focal point of living. Having social connections is key. They're noticing that because people are on Facebook all the time, sorry, I know we're using Facebook for this platform, but because they're on these different social media platforms, they're not able to connect on a daily basis. They're isolated. A lot of people are isolated. Let's strive to get out of that. Let's strive to, join a meetup. That's actually a group. If you go to meetup.com, it's actually a website where you can look for different groups of people who have similar hobbies and create events all over your city. And you can be able to go and join them, or going to church. Church is another avenue, or joining a sports team, a local sports team, or going to the gym. There's a lot of different avenues, but let's start having social connection. I think that's key, and it'll help not only your obesity, but it'll help your mental health. Okay, so we talked about take steps to reduce stress. We'll move that. Next, get more sleep. It's important to get more sleep. People lack sleep, and that can lead to depression, and that can lead to anxiety, and that could lead to back pain, neck pain, headaches. I mean, sleep is important, as we all know. So the CDC has recommended that for adults, meaning age 18 and greater, you should really be sleeping at least 7 hours a day. Now, how many of us actually sleep 7 hours a day? Okay. So, and ideally it should be continuous sleep, not interrupted. So, I think I talked about sleep in our previous episodes, the importance of sleep, but I'm going to again reiterate in other episodes, future episodes, why sleep is so important. If you have difficulty sleeping, there are tools that you can do that can help you. There are also medications as well. First of all, not watching TV or being on your phone an hour prior to sleep is important, okay? Of course, don't drink coffee, 2 hours or 3 hours before sleep, but that's also important. Um, and also limiting your bedroom activities to sleep or, sex is important as well. So these are just a few tips that can help you get better sleep. You want to focus on, how do I improve my sleep? Because sleep is definitely important. As we're in this water challenge, of course, drink more water. It is very, 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 very important for you to drink more water. I know there was a recent article that said that, humans typically drink an adequate amount of water because they have this thing called the thirst mechanism. So if they're dehydrated, their body will tell them, hey, you need to drink more water through being thirsty. But problem with that is not everybody's thirst mechanism is intact, especially as we get older. It seems like certain people, their thirst mechanism may be a little bit faulty. And if everybody's drinking enough water, I wouldn't be seeing a lot of cases of people who are coming in because of their dehydration, people passing out because they're dehydrated, people having acute kidney injury because they're dehydrated, yeah, and so forth and so on and so forth. So that's why I decided to do this water challenge. I did this water challenge based on what I was observing in the hospital. That it's important to really focus in on how much water are you drinking. And your body actually can tell you, besides just the thirst mechanism, there's other ways your body can tell you your overall state of hydration. I actually just recently produced a video about hydration and drinking enough water for Black women empowerment. And I will let you know once it's launched so you can watch it. But there's a couple of signs on your body that you can tell whether or not you're dehydrated or not. And so tune in. I'll let you know when that video is actually up. Long story short, drink more water. Women, we should be drinking an average of 2 liters a day. Men, we should be drinking an average of 3 liters a day. And that's typical for an average man and woman. But remember, we're all different. So as a result of that, the amount of water requirement really is specialized to you. If you have chronic conditions such as congestive heart failure, or you have condition like a kidney disease, those type of conditions actually limit the amount of water that you could typically consume. So you really have to talk to your primary care doctors when it comes to, okay, what is my daily water requirement? Okay. But for those who are generally healthy, that's the typical 2 to 3 liters is the typical water requirement for an average healthy person. 9, stop smoking, cut back on alcohol. I mean, we all know this by now, but some of us don't do it. That's fine. Just to reiterate, just to give you just a reminder. In this day and age, we all know that smoking does not help you at all. Okay. And in fact, it leads to a lot of number of things. I don't think I even have to go into this long tirade of what it can cause, lung cancer, heart disease, that sort of thing. So, I mean, make it a point to help yourself by cutting back and stopping smoking. Now, in the hospital, I've just always asked my patients, especially those who stop cold turkey, how do they do it? Besides the usual nicotine patch or the nicotine products, either it's a gum or sometimes some people use medications to help them stop. I've also observed that people kind of do this titration method. So what is that? Well, if they're smoking a pack a day, they'll say, okay, let me cut down by 2 cigarettes. So I won't smoke the whole pack. I'll just smoke I'll smoke all of it except for 2 cigarettes. And they'll do it maybe for a week or two. And then they'll be like, okay, instead of now not smoking 2 cigarettes, let me cut down further and not smoke 4 cigarettes. And so they'll do it for a week or two. And they'll steadily start going down in the number of cigarettes that they smoke until they're able to just stop it. And I find that that method has helped a lot of people. So if you need a way to help from smoking, definitely ask your primary care doctor. They can either prescribe you a nicotine replacement product, or they can also, refer you to resources that can help you. Along the line of smoking, I know a lot of people like to do either vaping or other forms of smoking. They're just as bad. So smoking in general is just as bad. It's just better not to do it. Okay. And then cutting back on alcohol. This is in particular for those who drink more than just occasionally. Um, the CDC again said the recommended amount of drink is 2 drinks for men and 1 drink for women. I know some people, they go beyond that socially, but as long as your socially is not every other day, or you're drinking a lot during the weekends, binge drinking, and you know that you're just moderate occasionally, then that's fine. When I say cut back on alcohol, it's for those who are drinking on a consistent basis. As you may know, what increased alcohol does is it affects your liver. And if you continue to drink alcohol on a consistent basis, your liver is affected to the point where you have what we call liver failure. Liver failure is not something you want to go through. It's very painful. It leads to a lot of other devastating circumstances. And so, to prevent that, if you are drinking on a consistent basis, try to cut down. And then our last slide is schedule your annual checkup. Now's the time, new you, a new year, new you. Okay. Let's just see what's my status. Okay. And that would involve schedule your primary care provider visit, schedule an ophthalmology visit if you wear glasses, or even if you don't, if you're a diabetic. You're supposed to be checking your eyesight every year annually, especially the back of your eye, to make sure that there's nothing wrong there. Um, checking checking your teeth, so a dental appointment. And then for those who are older, annual screenings such as your mammograms, such as your colonoscopies, making sure you get those screenings out of the way. So those are my 10 reminders and challenges for everyone in terms of being a new you during this new year. I'm going to use some of these challenges that I've mentioned and some of these topics. I'm going to talk about them further throughout the year, just to remind us. But again, I want 2023 to be our best version from a health perspective. And I hope you want that too. So thank you guys so much for joining. Like I said, we are having that water challenge that started today. If you want to take a part of it, just email me, waterchallenge2023@gmail.com. Still have time, and I can send you the information. All right, let me see if there's comments. Okay. That's a good question, Deborah. We sleep, but do we really rest? That's a good question. It all there you opened a can of worms with that, because there are some people who as they're sleeping, their sleep wake cycle is interrupted. And that's when you have these conditions such as sleepwalking, or talking during their sleep. Again, you have other conditions such as obstructive sleep apnea, where people are snoring to the point where all of a sudden it stops breathing. So there's a number of sleep disorders that one can have that can interrupt your sleep. But it could also, your sleep could also be interrupted and disrupted due to certain conditions in your body. So that's a very, very, very good question. I say, if you feel like you're not getting a rested sleep, again, let your doctor know. There are sleep experts out there that can really dive into what's going on. Sometimes they'll do sleep studies and actually put things on your head and kind of analyze your brain waveform, just to kind of figure out what's going on during your sleep. And then they can give you your diagnosis and help treat you. Also, melatonin is a very, very good supplement, but also a good sleep aid. Okay, so try over the counter melatonin, see if that can also help you with your sleep. our body secretes melatonin to sleep. So it's just a natural supplement that can be used. Hello, hello. Let me see. Okay, D Boss, I'm actually working on organic juicing and walking. That is so awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, that's great. That's great. Let us know how that goes, but that's awesome. And Deborah, I know you said too much screen time has shown to cause social awkwardness. Yes, it has shown to cause social awkwardness. That's why there's lack of social connection. And so getting out there, going to events. There are many events within your city. Just going there. You don't necessarily need to go by yourself, or you can. I sometimes go by myself. I'm fine. You just find friends, find people who share similar interest as yourself, and it helps boost your mood. It helps you practice in dealing with people and get out of the house. And let's see. All right. Well, that's all the time we have today. I would say this. Terrence Thomas said, "Stress kills. Please, everyone, let's get on board." Alan, yes, stress does kill. So it's important to de-stress. And I don't know. I just find that the society nowadays has just been too tensed, and so it's good that we have this woosah moment. Okay, let's take a deep breath in and release it out. All right. With that, thank you guys for coming. This has been another episode of Q&A with Dr. Mercy. I'm Dr. Mercy. Until next time, bye.